Laurel Murley, and for my presentation I want to do potatoes specifically because of their impact on the world and how easy they are to grow, and they have so many things that make them great. So the scientific name for the potato is Solanum tuberosum, and it's a very complicated name for such a simple food, but the food is pretty good, as well as being a easy to grow plant. It spread all over the world rather quickly, I feel. If you look at the timeline, it started out in Peru, South America, with the Incas cultivating it first, and then it spread to Spain through the Spanish explorations that went on there, and from there it spread across Europe, and it actually through Europe went back to North America, and the pioneers used it as a good food for storage because it lasts for a while, and for growing because it's pretty hardy. It grows almost everywhere. But I also have this butternut squash, which this had a bunch of different stuff growing in it at one point, but the butternut squash has taken over. But I haven't had any fruit from it because of the ants. And the ants take and they eat the flowers once they bloom. They go in and they eat them, and it's crazy because I'll have a live, beautiful flower one day, and then the next it will die. And tomatoes over here that were growing really well for a while, and then aphids came, and I didn't get it in time. I've been trying to do it organically, so no really harsh pesticides, just neem oil and some diatomaceous earth, and because I'm not regular about it, it's equal some regular plant there. I want to talk about my eggplant. My eggplant is finally blooming. I started this at the beginning of summer, and it finally has some little flowers, so hopefully I'll get some eggplant. But besides that, I planted some potatoes here in the last probably month or so, and they're starting to grow pretty well. Potatoes are super easy to grow. I literally have just taken potatoes from the grocery store, and I mean, you can cut them up to create more potatoes, but I just throw the whole potato in there because why not? And if you come and look at this over here, and dig one of the potatoes up, you can see where it's developed energy to creating new potato plants, and you can see the little baby potatoes that have started to grow. So, I'm going to put that back, and it'll keep growing, and hopefully by the end of season, or in a couple of months, I'll be able to harvest them, and we'll have homegrown potatoes. And I have some remnants from the tomatillos and the tomatoes. But it has kind of been neglected due to my working so much. I work from 6 a.m. in the morning till it's been 5, 6 in the afternoon a lot of days, and so doing that, trying to maintain a garden, and school has been immensely difficult. But the biggest struggle here is with ants and aphids. Ants propagate aphids, or they help colonize aphids onto the plants that they're trying to eat, and that's part of why I have some deterioration in the leaves here. Is from them coming and eating my plants. And that happened to my potatoes and to my tomatillos as well. And whenever I first started tending this garden, this was one of the first plants I started with because it was already here, this tree. And if you look, I'm still struggling with aphids and ants. And I have been spraying it down. I've been trying to keep the ants from being able to climb up the tree. It's just been a journey. I don't really have good examples out right now, but I have had where it was beautiful, big yellow bloom, and it'll look good and healthy, like it's going to make a fruit, and within a couple days, the ants have gotten to it and have killed the plant and it will rot. Oh, here's one that's about to start blossoming right there. And so it'll look like this today, and in the next couple days it'll open up, and after that the ants will just come and eat it. I love my squash. Yeah, she challenged herself to eat potatoes for a whole month, only potatoes, and so she came up with all these different ways of making them, and she literally just ate potatoes for a whole month because it was a part of like saving money or whatever, but also because it's nutritionally complete. And she didn't have any adverse effects from it. She just hated eating potatoes for a little bit afterwards because it was so much potato. Well, yeah, astronauts eat potatoes because it's easy to grow. It doesn't require a whole lot of water. They don't require a whole lot of even soil. Like, they need some soil, but they'll grow without a whole lot. And they will provide all your nutritional needs. Looking at it will positively affect it because it's one of those few crops that doesn't need a whole lot of water to grow, again, and because of the rising levels of nitrogen in our atmosphere and carbon dioxide, they're going to thrive. So they'll be just fine. Potatoes are like the superhero of plants for food.